Hello, friends. Well, we certainly have had a very wild week, and the weeks ahead proved to be even wilder. I was watching Styx Hexenhammer today, and he was talking about how, Computing Forever got banned, and how he believes that January 20th is going to be much worse than we have seen on the 6th. So, yeah, things are really heating up. But, and I said, we must keep a cool head. We must try. And not just go off and sacrifice ourselves. And work on building. But see, I'll talk about that in my next video. This video, I want to talk about how social media is a non-essential business. And they are proving they are non-essentials. I mean, essentially, what is social media? A social media platform is a place for people to gab, to discuss, share ideas, share pictures, and opinions, and it really is not important. I mean, they've become news centers and business centers. But I would say most social media is, you can do without all of it. I mean, hey, the internet has only been around for about the last 30 years or less. And the world has been around for much longer. Kingdoms and empires have risen and fallen without the aid of the internet. So, but the left, thinking that they are doing something big for their cause by banning people, they're not. And they're just like causing the tensions to rise, and they're ultimately going to prove to be their undoing. Yeah, so I said, first of all, a few years ago, everyone felt they had to be on the social media platforms. It was just the thing to do, the place to be. And the only ones I really found useful at all were Facebook and YouTube. Well, Facebook, mainly because it was sort of connecting you with your family and old friends in a way you wouldn't still be connected in the old world. After Facebook banned Tommy Robinson, I quit for a year. I had a huge account. I had the 5,000 friend limit. I had a really big account. And I just quit and walked away. I mean, I didn't regret walking away. But after about a year, I'm like, I wanted to see my friends' kids' baby pictures. What were my cousins doing? Reconnected with a couple old friends. I did miss a few old friends. So I did come back in a limited capacity. Right now I have about 150 friends, and I just post a little bit, and I swear I would not use Facebook for business because they are just bad. So I'm mostly there, I said, to look at baby pictures. And that's all they deserve to be. So I haven't quite broken away from Facebook yet. But Twitter, I say, is completely worthless. I was on it for about 3 years. For 5 years, like 2011 till 2017. And it's really just a numbers game. You're just like, how many followers can I gain? I'll tweet this, and I'll gain followers. Yay, I'm reaching up to the mark. I had reached almost 20,000 followers, but I never talked to anybody hardly. It was just like screaming at a wall, screaming short sentences at the wailing wall. And it was rather a waste. I used it for news, but in 2017, that's around the time they started banning conservative news, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm out of here. And I haven't missed it. Life without Twitter has just been fine. I did try signing up for different alternative accounts, but I never had time to build them up because I didn't know anybody there, and it just was harder to work on them. So, I do plan on using Rumble, but see, right now, as far as social media is concerned, everything's kind of in limbo because we do not know who the left is going to target next year. So we're kind of waiting to see what can be done. And It's obvious that conservatives need their own servers, and you better hide them and put them in a secret place underground or whatnot, because the leftists will come with their shovels and their axes to smash your servers, conservatives, if they don't control them. And the bottom line is, the conservatives need to make a stronger stand against all the fascistic behavior. I mean, the time to do that might have been a while ago, but I mean, it's harder now, but still, at some point it'll have to be done. Anyway, so I'm just saying how social media is non-essential. I said I signed up for different sites. I don't use them. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. I mean, I just don't need them. You have to live your life, and social media sites are just plain non-essential. And it's just basically people who want to make money. They're starting these sites hoping they'll make money on them, and they're wasting your time for the most part. So essentially, the conservatives have not done enough to defend their free speech. So we are faced with this significant problem, and we're not sure where it's going to end. So the thing is, failure is a chance to begin again more intelligently. And yeah, I said basically the whole of America seems to be going down under the threats of this little group of greatly despised people called politicians. And like I said, once they've let the genie out of the box and let the Frankenstein out of his dungeon, there's no putting him back. So we have no idea where this is going to go. But I would say for now, we will definitely leave social media if possible. Reduce your time if nothing else. And there's so many stores and so many places to boycott. I mean, it's obvious you cannot boycott every single store. And even my local grocery store has been saying they're going to get alcohol. And so I'm like, we're going to have to stop shopping there so much. We need some dry grocery stores. See, this is the problem with America. Everything's soused, everyone's drugged, and that needs to stop. There are no social reformers. There are no Carrie Nations. There are nobody standing up for anything. Everyone's just bowing and scraping. So hopefully this will be a turning point. A turning point of getting the laws enforced again and the bowing and scraping over with. And I was going to say that, everyone's depressed and feeling helpless about now. So first thing we do little things first. First we pray, and we trust God, and we thank God even in the bad times. We must. Christianity is not just for fair weather Christianity. God's will, and we have to work with what God has ordained, and we pray about it, and we do too push back, because obviously God has blessed many people who have pushed back in the past, so against tyranny. So we are for sure pushing back. So let's think of little things that we can do that are in our control, because most of the world is not in our control, and that's very, very frustrating and depressing. But right now, like I said, let's do what's in our control. So let's look in our lives. What do we have? For me, I have leaving the Republican Party. So if you are an American citizen, you Google change my voter registration and then type your state in. Mine's PA. Change my voter registration form, and that'll take you to the site, and you will get your form. And it was not cooperating with me to do the online form. It didn't want to take my phone number. So then I went and printed it off, and I'm going to send it in, fill it out, and I'm just going to say no party affiliation. So that's the choices, and I'm going to have no party. So I fill that out and mail it in. That's something I can do. Stick it to those Republicans. Number 2, I serve as a Republican representative on our local borough council. And I have my letter of resignation written and printed, ready to send in. Because to continue, I will read it to you. Here it is. Dear Hawthorne Borough Council members, in view of the latest developments in American politics, I feel I cannot, in good conscience, continue to participate in or be associated with the administration or governing processes of the American government. Therefore, as an act of protest, I am tendering my resignation from the Hawthorne Borough. Thank you for your kindness during my years of public service, wishing you all the best as you continue to represent the citizens of Hawthorne. You know, I have to sound calm, cool, and collected. And I'm in the dark, so that's why my reading's a little slow. So anyway, so for me, I can do that. And obviously, if you're a Republican, you can change your party. That is something that will make you feel better. Now, I mean, if you wanted to have, and also, my dad said he's going to take down our American flag. So if you have an American flag flying, take it down or fly it at half-mast. I said I won't be decorating my office in red, white, and blue this summer. I'll just use the old butterfly pages from last year's calendar. And if you want to have a red, white, and blue bonfire, that's up to you. I mean, remember, the Democrats don't mind flag burning. So you'll be completely good on that one. Like I said, resolve to become an activist, a social reformer. That's it. Social reformer, activist. Like I said, we probably should start some other parties. Like you said, of course, the political class will try to stop the other parties, but they're like I said, they're really off the rails and probably should be carted off to the padded cells. We'll see if they get there. Because at this point, the politicians, it's just a power grab and a we hate you Trump action. It's like it's personal vendetta. They're not even thinking of the country. They're just like, I need money, and Trump, he insulted me, and I don't like Trump, so we're gonna smash him, and we're gonna get all our money. We're gonna get this. It's like a wholesale robbery. It's like looting the Capitol. That's essentially what it is. So, like I said, these politicians are off the rails. And this, which brings us back to the social media. And I know everyone's been talking about it today. The social media companies banning everybody, ban. At the same time, they are going to destroy themselves, which is a positive thing. And that's one of the good things that will come out of this. The big tech companies have destroyed themselves, and all the businesses who have been bowing and scraping, which we thought that they would have had more backbone. I mean, right now it's hard to have backbone, but a few years ago, there's no excuse for not having backbone against this terrible regime. So, these businesses that have bowed and scraped, even before they had to, are part of the problem. They've been doing that for decades, and that's why we are where we are today. And they will all go out of business, which is good because that means this opens up. Basically, America is ready for a clean sweep of the old brands, the old politics, the old social media, and the old order. And this clean sweep is not going to end up the way the politicians have envisioned it. They envision it with them controlling all the money and being oligarchs. But we want to make sure that this new clean sweep of America and that we also hijack the Great Reset and make it into a society that is even more free and centers on the people and has politicians cleaning toilets for minimum wage. That's what I propose for the future of the political class. All right, so please cheer up, folks. It's a tough time. We are down. We are not out. The world has had really tough times, and other countries have had really tough times. We have had really good times. We still have many advantages, so we can go ahead and still cry for a while, but we will rise, and we still have a lot of advantages. So keep praying, trusting the Lord, and do good. Okay, let freedom ring.